To all the gentlemen over 60 watching today, I want to have an honest conversation, man to man. Let me ask you something. Do you enjoy a handful of nuts as a snack? Perhaps while reading the paper or watching the news, you think to yourself, this is good for me. It's a healthy food. But what if I told you that very handful of healthy nuts could be quietly, slowly contributing to a loss of vitality, a loss of potency, a loss of the physical confidence and connection you share with your loving partner? This is a topic many men are ashamed to discuss even with their doctors. They blame it on age, and they suffer in silence. But today we will not be silent. We are going to talk about the truth. We will uncover how some nuts can diminish a man's strength and how others' simple, powerful gifts from God can help restore it. This is not about a magic pill. It's about reclaiming the health and confidence you deserve.
Doctor, thank you for opening this conversation with such honesty and respect. I know this is a topic that weighs heavily on the hearts of many men and their partners, but is so often shrouded in silence. It takes courage to bring it into the light. For everyone with us, this is Dr. Morgan, who is here to guide us through this sensitive subject with both medical wisdom and deep compassion. Doctor, you've spoken about this loss of vitality. Where do we begin to understand the cause?
We begin by looking at the small daily choices that we believe are healthy, but may not be serving us in this season of life. It's often not the big obvious things, but the quiet, consistent habits that make the biggest difference. This brings me to a patient, i.e., I have great respect for a gentleman we'll call Mr. Harrison. He is 68, a retired businessman, a man who has been a leader his whole life, always confident, always in charge. He came to me not with a specific medical complaint, but with a quiet sense of frustration. He said, "Doctor, I feel like I'm losing control of my own body. My energy isn't what it was. My desire is fading. I feel disconnected from my wife. I'm doing everything right. I've given up red meat, I exercise, and I snack on what I believe are healthy nuts every afternoon." When I asked him what kind of nuts, he said his go-to mix was peanuts and cashews.
Peanuts and cashews, two of the most popular nuts in the world. It's hard to imagine they could be a problem.
And that is why this conversation is so important. Let's start with the first one, peanuts. The first thing we must understand is that peanuts are not true nuts. They are legumes that grow underground in moist soil. Because of this, they are highly susceptible to contamination by a type of fungus that produces a toxin called aflatoxin. In our youth, a healthy liver can filter this out with no problem. But as we age, our liver function naturally becomes less robust. This aflatoxin can begin to build up, placing a strain on the liver, which is a key organ for regulating hormones, including testosterone.
So this toxin can directly interfere with a man's hormone balance over time.
It can. It's a slow, gradual process that can lead to decreased libido and lower energy. But there's a more immediate problem with peanuts. They are very high in omega-6 fatty acids. While we need some omega-6, the modern diet is flooded with it. When omega-6 is not balanced by enough omega-3, it creates a state of chronic inflammation throughout the body, especially in the delicate lining of our blood vessels. And as we know, a man's erectile function is purely a matter of healthy blood flow. If the vessels are inflamed and constricted, blood cannot get to where it needs to go. This can lead to difficulty achieving or maintaining an erection.
What about the most common form we see, peanut butter? Is that a safer choice?
I'm glad you asked, Sarah, because it is often even worse. Most commercial peanut butters are a chemical concoction. They contain hydrogenated oils to prevent separation, added sugars, and a high amount of sodium. This combination is a direct assault on the cardiovascular system, damaging the very blood vessels that are critical for a man's potency. every seemingly harmless spoonful can be a step backward.
So that was the first nut in Mr. Harrison's snack bowl. What about the second, the cashews?
Cashews present a different but equally concerning problem. Cashews are soft, creamy, and feel like a luxurious treat, but they are a silent calcium thief. They are high in natural compounds called oxalates. Oxalates can bind with calcium in your digestive tract and prevent your body from absorbing it. For an aging man, this is critically important. It can lead to a weakening of the bones in the pelvis, hips, and lower back. These are the very bones that provide the foundational strength and support for posture and stability during physical intimacy. A man might feel his back aching, or his stance feeling unstable and blame it on age, never suspecting the healthy cashews he is eating.
So they can weaken the very frame that a man relies on for his strength.
Precisely. And cashews also have a high carbohydrate content for a nut, which can spike blood sugar. These spikes can lead to insulin resistance over time, a condition which has been scientifically linked to lower testosterone levels. So again, we see a pathway to hormonal disruption. The final nut on our list to be cautious of is the pine nut. While less common, it poses 3 unique risks. First, for some individuals, it can cause a temporary but distressing condition called pine mouth syndrome, where everything tastes bitter or metallic for days or weeks. This can crush one's appetite, leading to weight loss, weakness, and a loss of libido. Second, the delicate fats in pine nuts can become oxidized or rancid very easily if not stored properly, and consuming these oxidized fats can contribute to inflammation in the brain and joints. And third, and this is a critical warning, pine nuts have been shown to interfere with the metabolism of many common medications that seniors take, including some for blood pressure and cholesterol. This can make medications less effective or increase the risk of side effects.
This is so much to take in, and it completely challenges what many of us thought we knew about healthy snacking. It shows how important it is to be informed.
It is about being an active, wise steward of the sacred gift of a body at every stage of life. It's not about fear. It's about making informed, loving choices for yourself.
Thank you, Doctor. For all the men watching and the partners who love them, I know this information may be eye-opening. If this has given you a new perspective on your own health, if you found this information valuable, please let our community know by typing a 1 in the comments. This is a safe space to learn and to support one another on our health journeys. And please take a moment to subscribe. It is a free act of taking back control of your health and ensuring you never miss these honest conversations. Doctor. That first part was a true wake-up call. It's frightening to think that common foods we trust could be working against us. But as you always say, knowledge isn't meant to create fear. It's meant to empower. So for Mr. Harrison and for all the men watching who have just realized they need to make a change, where does the journey of healing begin? After removing those harmful nuts, what did you guide them to replace them with? What are the nuts that act as true friends and allies to a man's health?
That is the most important part of our conversation today, Sarah. Because this journey is not about deprivation. It is never about just taking things away. It is about lovingly replacing what harms with what heals. For Mr. Harrison, his path to reclaiming his vitality truly began when we introduced 3 powerful life-giving nuts into his daily routine. These are what I call a man's allies, and the first of these, the protector of a man's foundational strength, is the almond.
Almonds are so popular. What makes them so uniquely beneficial for men in this stage of life?
They support a man from the ground up in several critical ways. Firstly, and this is something many men don't think about, almonds strengthen the pelvic bones. They provide a wonderful natural source of both calcium and magnesium. This is not just about preventing a hip fracture. Strong pelvic hip and lower backbones are the physical foundation for a man's stability and power. This is the core strength needed for simple acts like getting up from the floor after playing with a grandchild, or for maintaining stable, confident, and pain-free posture during the most intimate moments with a partner.
So it's not just about bone health in an abstract sense, but about real functional power and stability.
Precisely. Secondly, almonds are rich in high-quality plant protein and healthy fats. These are essential for maintaining muscle mass. As we discussed, sarcopenia or age-related muscle loss can make a man feel weak and diminish his stamina. The protein in almonds gives the body the direct building blocks it needs to repair and maintain that precious muscle tissue. And thirdly, the healthy monounsaturated fats in almonds are wonderful for our blood vessels. We know that erectile function is entirely dependent on healthy blood flow. These fats help to lower the bad LDL cholesterol and keep the arteries flexible and clean, allowing for healthy circulation to every part of the body.
It sounds like a single handful of almonds provides support for bones, muscles, and circulation all at once. An incredible powerhouse.
It truly is. The vitamin E found in the thin brown skin of the almond is also a powerful antioxidant that helps protect the brain against the brain fog that can diminish a man's confidence and mental sharpness. It is a complete food for a man's vitality. It's a testament to the wisdom found in nature. And for everyone still with us on this important journey, if you're finding this information hopeful and empowering, please type A2 in the comments and let us know where you're watching from. It is a blessing to share this positive news with our Health Voices community. Now, the second life-saving nut is one whose very shape is a beautiful hint from God about its primary benefit. I'm talking about the walnut.
It looks just like a tiny brain. It's remarkable.
It is no coincidence. As men age, confidence can be deeply affected by a perceived decline in mental sharpness. A man might forget a name or feel his reactions are not as quick as they once were. This can translate into hesitation in all areas of life, including intimacy. Walnuts are one of the richest plant sources of ALA, a type of omega-3 fatty acid that is crucial for brain health. It helps to strengthen the membranes of our brain cells and improve the communication between them. This includes the vital nerve signals that travel from the brain to govern desire and physical response. When that communication is clear and strong, a man's natural desire and reactions can be more spontaneous and confident.
So walnuts are literally food for thought and for desire. You also mentioned blood flow.
Yes, and this is critical. Walnuts contain a key amino acid called arginine. Our body uses arginine as the raw material to create a miracle molecule called nitric oxide, or NO. NO is the body's primary signal that tells blood vessels to relax, to open up. For a man, this is everything. The small blood vessels in the genital area are particularly sensitive. When they open up, blood can flow in freely, which is what creates a strong natural erection. By providing the building blocks for nitric oxide, walnuts directly support this fundamental process. And there is one more blessed gift from the walnut. Many men in their 60s and 70s struggle with poor sleep. They wake up multiple times or just don't feel rested. Deep restorative sleep is the sacred time when a man's body does the crucial work of producing and replenishing its testosterone levels. Walnuts contain natural melatonin, the hormone that regulates our sleep-wake cycle. A few walnuts in the evening is not a sleeping pill, but it's a gentle natural nudge to the body's own rhythm, encouraging that deeper hormone restoring sleep.
That is fascinating. The brain, the blood flow, and the hormonal recovery during sleep, all from a single nut. What is the final ally on your list, doctor?
The final one is the vibrant and delightful pistachio. Pistachios are a true friend to a man's cardiovascular system, which is directly linked to his potency. They are rich in potassium, which helps to naturally lower blood pressure. As we know, high blood pressure constricts blood vessels and is a major enemy of healthy erectile function. Like walnuts, they also provide arginine to support that all-important nitric oxide production for blood flow. But pistachios offer two other unique benefits for a man's confidence during intimate moments. First, they are the nut with the highest concentration of two antioxidants, lutein and zeaxanthin. These are famous for protecting our vision, especially the macula, which controls sharp central vision. Why is this important? Because being able to see your partner's face clearly to maintain that deep eye contact is a profound part of emotional connection and intimacy. When vision fades, that connection can feel diminished. Secondly, pistachios are a good source of vitamin B6. This vitamin is essential for producing neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, which help to regulate our mood. For a man who may be feeling anxious or stressed about his performance, this nutritional support can help calm the mind, reduce that performance anxiety, and allow him to be more present and confident with his partner.
So each of these nuts, almonds, walnuts, and pistachios offers a unique constellation of benefits that all point toward the same goal, restoring a man's holistic health, his strength, his confidence, and his ability to maintain a loving physical connection with his partner.
That is the goal. For Mr. Harrison, his journey back started by simply swapping his old snack mix for a new one containing these three allies. It was the first step in a journey that allowed him to feel in control of his body once more. We were not just treating a symptom, we were nourishing his entire system as it was designed to be nourished.
Doctor, this is such hopeful and empowering information. To know that the answer isn't a prescription, but is found in these simple, powerful gifts from nature, is wonderful. We've learned which nuts to be cautious of and which to embrace. But I have to believe it's about more than just a handful of nuts. How do these food choices fit into the bigger picture of nutrition for senior men who want to live with strength and vitality?
That is the essential question, Sarah. It brings us to the ultimate truth of health. These nuts are powerful tools, but a tool is only as good as the hands that wield it. They must be part of a larger commitment to honoring the body. True vitality for a man after 60 is built upon a foundation of several pillars. We've talked about the food, but we must also talk about movement rest and peace of mind.
Can you elaborate on that? What are these other pillars?
First, there is gentle, consistent movement. This doesn't mean you must start running marathons. It can be as simple as a daily walk. The act of walking improves circulation to every part of the body. It helps manage blood pressure, and studies have shown that consistent moderate exercise can naturally support healthy testosterone levels. It is a declaration to your body that you are still in the game, that you are still living. Second, there is deep, restorative sleep. As we discussed, sleep is the sacred time when the body heals and replenishes its hormones. So many men in the season of life sacrifice sleep staying up late watching the news or worrying. I tell my patients, prioritize your sleep as if it were a holy appointment. It is that important. And finally, there is stress management. Chronic stress, with its constant release of the hormone cortisol, is a vitality killer. It directly works against testosterone and creates inflammation. Finding peace through prayer meditation, spending time in nature, or simply turning off the news and listening to quiet music is not a luxury. It is a necessity for a man's health.
So it's a holistic approach. The food, the movement, the rest, and the spirit all working together.
It is the only way. This is the core of my philosophy on nutrition. For senior individuals, it's not about a radical diet or chasing a single superfood. It is about a pattern of wise, loving choices that honor the miraculous way our bodies were created. The good nuts we discussed work even better when they are part of a diet rich in leafy greens, colorful vegetables, and clean protein. It all works in synergy.
So what was the final outcome for Mr. Harrison, the man who felt he was losing his confidence?
For Mr. Harrison, adding the good nuts was the start of his journey back to himself. But the true transformation happened when he combined that nutritional change with a daily walk and a commitment to a more peaceful evening routine. He came to me a few months later, and he looked like a different man. He stood taller. He had a light in his eye. He said, "Doctor, it's not just about the bedroom. I feel like a good steward of the body God gave me again. I have the energy to serve my family, to be present with my wife in all ways. I've reclaimed a part of myself I thought was lost forever." That, Sarah, is the ultimate goal. Not just a physical function, but a restoration of a man's spirit. Now let's summarize the powerful choices we've discussed today. There are 3 nuts we must be wise and cautious about: peanuts, with their risk of aflatoxin and inflammatory fats; cashews, the calcium thief that can weaken our foundational bones; and pine nuts, which can interfere with medications and appetite. And there are 3 allies, 3 lifelong companions we should embrace: almonds for bone muscle and circulatory health; walnuts for the brain for blood flow and for hormone-restoring sleep; and pistachios for healthy blood pressure, vision, and a calm, confident mind. The choice is yours to make. No great revolution is needed. It begins with one small, intentional choice today. A choice to honor your body, to nourish your strength, and to maintain your ability to love fully. Not just with your heart, but with a body that is still strong and willing to cooperate.
Thank you, Doctor, for an incredibly profound and important conversation. You've given us not just information, but true wisdom. For everyone in our Health Voices community, we hope this has empowered you. Now we would love to hear from you. What was the most surprising piece of information you learned in this discussion today? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. If this video has brought value to you, please give it a thumbs up. It helps our message of hope and health reach more men who need to hear it. Please share this video with a father, a husband, a brother, or a friend you care about. And of course, please subscribe to Health Voices for more expert guidance on nutrition for senior men and women who want to live with strength and dignity. Thank you for being with us.
Be well, be strong, and know that you are a man of value at every age. God bless.
Until next time, take good care.